What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, we're here today on the official server because there are new events. And when there's new events, what do? We come to the official server. So they might change a little bit on private. I don't know, I'll check that later. We'll see, of course. But for now, these limited events, kablowie. Let's check things out. First, at the anniversary card, it is still going on if you didn't buy one. I can't buy a second one. I don't know if that's going to change tomorrow or whatnot. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe, perhaps. We'll see. But I can't buy one right now. And I'm a little sad because I was definitely going to buy two in a row because the gym rewards were just out of this world. So, the Anniversary Carnival obviously still going on if you want to spin your little lucky statues or whatnot. So that's great. You still haven't spent your things? You can. I haven't spent any of mine, obviously, so whatevs. But the new stuff, shelter missions are here. I'm not gonna lie, guys, pretty meh. I'm just gonna say it's not the best. So we'll go through them one at a time, and I'll talk a little about them. First up, we've got Ice Blink you can pick out of here. If you've got 4-star Rangers and obviously a 5-star fodder to put in there, you get Ice Blink and the orange gear. I would say the main reason to do the shelter missions for these first three units here, Rosa, Aiden, and Ice Blink, is strictly to get the gear and have a hero in your bag for Heroic Miracle. That's pretty much it, because none of these heroes are really that great. On official servers, you can get away with an Ice Blink build still because a lot of people just kind of build whatever they get in official. So an AoE CC unit like Ice Blink can still work in PvP on official servers. In private server, probably not even worth a build anymore. He's just too slow. He's been replaced by a lot of faster, better crowd control heroes. He just can't keep up. He's like old news now. So Ice Blink's pretty meh in my opinion. He's only one of these first three I would say maybe build on official. I guess you could probably build Rosa too if you really wanted to. But he's just not that great. I'd still pick him up, of course. You get the orange gear, which is worth. Plus, you get a Fortress hero in your bag for Heroic Miracles to take a little bit of a stress off that event. So, that's nice. Aiden here is going to be the same thing. You need 4 Shadow Mages, which is a little bit tough. I mean, I get there's a couple of them. There's Glenn and Little Deathsworn. I just don't have them. I guess it's not really any more difficult than the other ones. But whatever. I don't have them, so it's tough. Anyways, and then obviously a 5-star Shadow Hero here for the food. Again, it's definitely worth doing just to get the hero in your bag. Plus, that orange armor is definitely nice early game. Those 4-star oranges, not bad. Not bad, peeps. So that's a thing for sure. Then you've got, well, we'll talk about Aiden, I guess, for a second. Aiden's like a poor man's Flame Strike. That's pretty much what he is. He gets stronger as your team dies, so he becomes like a little mini nuke at the end. But he's a poor man's Flame Strike. That's pretty much the entire thing he does. He's not really that great in PvP other than the cheese method for like Trial of the Champion, or if you're just running a cheese lineup, maybe. But in PvE, he has next to zero usefulness. He's just not that great of a hero. I could have 10-starred. I had plenty of copies for him. I'm just going to take him to 9 and feed him out. It makes more sense that way. Moving over, we got Rosa here. Rosa, again, one of those heroes like Ice Blink that used to be really sought after and really good unit, kind of has fallen off with time. To get this one, though, you're going to need 4-star Priests of the Grass faction, and obviously a 5-star unit to throw in there as well. Nice thing about it is, obviously, mainly the gear. But Rosa used to be pretty good for PvE because his active skill has an armor break. I think his basic attack actually has the armor break. His active skill gives your team attack boost, so it boosted your team's damage pretty well in PvE. However, when Sigmund and things came around, he became less and less used because he wasn't doing what those heroes did as well. You're talking about a 20% armor break or 20% armor break from his basic attack on the entire enemy team. That's nice for a whole team, but obviously the main thing you're looking for armor break on is a boss, not a team. So when you talk about a boss, Sigmund can take a single target's armor down to like 0. Rose is only going to remove 20%. Does he also boost your attack? No, Sigmund doesn't have an attack boost for your team, but when you have 0 armor on an enemy, your entire team just kind of benefits from that no armor and does more damage naturally. So Sigmund by himself kind of replaced Rosa. He was already better than Rosa at what Rosa did, was kind of stripping armor and boosting the damage done. Then you got Heartwatcher came out with her super massive 4 times damage to bosses for your whole team, which kind of further pushed Rosa down the ladder. Kroos even boosts your damage, I think, further than a Rosa will. So he's just kind of a mediocre build. He's alright, he's got some use, but really if you have a Sigmund, you don't need Rosa. If you got Heartwatcher, you don't need Rosa. They're going to do his job much better, so he's not really worth a build. But getting that orange armor, like I said, and having him in the bag, isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Moving on to Corim. Corim's actually a pretty solid unit. This is one of the heroes I'm actually decently excited is in here. He's not like super god in PvP or anything, especially not late game PvP, but he does have a serious nuke power. As enemies die, he gains more attack, so he can hit million plus damage in PvP, which is nice. It can definitely knock the crap out of somebody pretty quick. But the main thing is, this guy can be used as an aspen hero, and early on in the game, that's a huge deal. Huge, huge deal having someone that can get you to difficult plus in the Aspen dungeon. This guy can do it at 10 stars. 9 star, not so much. 10 star, difficult plus, no problem. So, to get him, you need 4, Abyss Assassins, there you go, 4 stars, and 1 5-star to make him as well. You get the armor as usual, plus you get the Corim in your bag. The nice thing about Corim, we'll back out here for a second, is he's actually a pretty easy build early on, because you can buy him in the Brave Trial. I've got buttloads of coins here. You can pick one up here, and when you buy something for the Brave Trial shop, it doesn't refresh. You can just keep picking that guy up over and over again. There's no need to ever actually refresh the Brave Trial shop. It never runs out. So you can buy the crap out of Corim there, but that's not the only place. You can also come over to the Altar shop, which I have buttloads of those as well, and you can buy a Corim here. Now, you do have to refresh for 5,000 Altar coins, so buying multiple Corims is kind of tough, but it can be done. You can buy Corim from here and the Brave Trial, so just from the Brave Trial here and the event, you can have a 9-star Corim pretty quick. A 9-star Corim will take you past easy mode for sure. You just need him 10-star to go to difficult. So it's a nice thing that you can pick up multiple copies in like free-to-play areas like the Altar Shop and the Brave Trial, which is fantastic, but he's definitely a good unit. He's probably the best one of the 4 regular factions to pick up in my opinion. Definitely a nice guy. Moving over, we've got the Amuvor and the Michelle. Now, the light and dark heroes are always the most difficult to get out of the shelter missions. This time, there's no gold cost associated with it. It's actually kind of nice because it's something we'll talk about later. But it's still 3,000 gems and 2 dark 5 stars. Now, that's a rough sell. 2 dark 5 stars for 1 dark 5 stars, kind of like, I don't know. The biggest selling point for this is the fact that he's going to go into your bag. If you guys don't know, on official servers, completing Heroic Miracle is actually the hardest part of it is light and dark heroes. 90% of the time, that's what you're having trouble getting together. So being able to take 2 of these crappy units like this and swapping them in for a good 5-star dark that goes into your bag is really, really handy for that next Heroic Miracle that comes around. It does run you 3,000 gems too, though, which is a little bit expensive. It's just kind of... It's nice to have those in the bag. It really is a big burden lifted off your shoulders when Heroic Miracle comes around. If you've got those dark and light heroes already stashed away, no problem. So, Amuvor, great hero, in PvE at least. He's not really a PvP guy. He does most of his damage to people with higher HP than him, which every boss will, and he doesn't actually do 15% of the target's total HP. It says that. That's mainly for like PvE when you're fighting people with like, you know, a couple million health. Not when you're fighting something with a couple 100 million health. It does cap. I believe that it says it's 10 times his attack that will cap his damage on a skill. So he can definitely drop over 1 million damage and stuff like that. It's not bad. I don't know how 100% true that is. I'll have to test it, but he does have a cap on his attack for bosses. Anyways, that's Amuvor, really solid PvE unit. Not so much in PvP, but cool dark hero for sure. Moving over to Michelle. Michelle's kind of the opposite of Amuvor. She is not at all useful for PvE like bosses. She does like no damage. She does have some self-sustain or some healing for your team, which is nice. She can work a little bit in the Aspen dungeon, but not super far because she doesn't have a lot of damage. She does have crowd control though, which is a big deal, and a little bit of a heal. A lot of people use her for PvP. She resurrects, she's crowd control immune with a stun herself. That's not bad. It's pretty nice. Same thing as the dark unit though. It's going to take you 3,000 gems and 2 light heroes here to get this one rolling. Is it worth? Like I said, kind of depends. If you don't have any light heroes in your bag, it's definitely nice to pick one of these up because then it makes the Heroic Miracle that much easier to complete. So I don't know if I'll buy them both. I've got plenty of light heroes. I don't really need a Michelle. I'll definitely pick up Amuvor though because I don't have any dark builds going on yet, and having Amuvor in the bag will help me with the dark part of things. So there you go with the shelter mission out of the way. We'll jump into the anniversary packs. Pretty cool stuff here. Kroos by himself, obviously a great hero if you don't know. Plus, it's a shard form Kroos, so it goes to your bag. That's awesome. That's what you want. But the new skin for Kroos is actually pretty cool looking. He looks like some kind of like... Reminds me like World of Warcraft. You ever watch Warcraft the movie? For some reason, he reminds me of that movie. I actually kind of like it. It looks pretty cool. So... there you go, there's the Kroos skin, looks pretty awesome. If you've got 8,000 gems and you're building a Kroos, it's not a bad pickup. He's pretty solid, plus the skin looks freaking cool. I don't know if I'll buy him. I probably might, will, definitely, maybe, for sure. We'll see. I don't know. But then next to him, you also got the Skerei. Skerei's a really solid unit all around. He can do really good in PvP, especially on official servers where you don't have quite as much meta CC like you do in the private server, where there's all dark and light heroes and stuff like that. He does some really nuke damage for PvP, and he also can hit pretty hard in PvE, but like I said, his PvE's not God mode. I've used him at 10 star, and he can do decent damage in PvE, pretty solid stacking up, but it's not amazing. It's not like Bloodblade levels or anything like that. He's good there, but he's also really good in PvP. Plus, he just looks awesome. That's one of Skerei's biggest selling points, in my opinion. And he's got a new skin as well, which looks pretty freaking sick. It looks pretty awesome. I definitely want to buy that, just because he's a Jurassic fossil. It's Jurassic in the name. You gotta buy it. You gotta buy it 100% right there. It says Jurassic. So anyways, pretty cool looking skin. He looks cool by himself without the skin, to be honest. One of my favorite design units in the game. So that's definitely a pretty cool pickup. The last one over here is actually kind of a waste. 4,000 gems for 1,000 anniversary tickets, or tokens, whatever they are. Not worth it. I'm going to go ahead and say not worth it, mainly because 1,000 of these will buy you 20 heroic scrolls. If you were to swap them in directly straight up for the tokens to event-based items, you're going to buy 20 heroic scrolls for 4,000 gems. That's a terrible deal. Okay, you get 10 for 1,250 in the Aspen dungeon. So for 2,500 gems, you can get 20 scrolls, or you can blow 4,000 and get those and kind of end up at a what the crap did I do that for stage. Unless you're really pushing for one of these heroes, which you can get without spending the extra 1,000, unless you're trying to buy like multiple copies, I don't know, it'd be hard to justify 4,000 gems for 1,000 of those tokens. Just not quite on par, in my opinion. But of course, you got to do you. If you see a really good opportunity for you with 1,000 of those coins, go ahead. Totally up to you. I just don't see a huge benefit in it for me, so I'm probably not going to buy it. But anyways, this is something new that has not been around before. The Grey Dwarf's Blessing. I looked at this before and I was a little confused by it. But what it does, I thought it was an event for like you go and fuse up 5-star gear and then you get a reward. Not how it works. It actually, if you can see here, you only need one set of orange gear. 4-star orange gear, which you can get from the shelter event, by the way. I believe it's going to cost you 40 million gold and 1,500 gems to transvert that one set into a 5-star set. Which is a big jump. You got 1,500 attack to 2,400 attack. 10,000 health to 30,000 health. That's a huge difference, but it doesn't just stop there. You can scroll down, and you can transmute a 5-star set into a 6-star set, which is freaking huge. Those 6-star orange gears are just absolutely retarded. 32,000 health to 52,000 health, plus 2% reduced damage, and the set bonus is pretty nice. 2,400 attack to 3,700. It's a really big bump. That 6-star... that 6-star gear is really nasty, and for 80 million gold and 3,000 gems, you can take one of your 5-star sets to 6-star. You can only do it one time, though, so one of those deals. And if you scroll down even further, if you were to go like so, you would see there is now a mage-specific set. Now, if you get the mage-specific set, there's something to remember. It is not going to be as powerful as a regular 6-star set on any hero that's not a mage. Why? Because your passive stats, you get the attack, you get 7% attack, you get 7% HP, 7% attack, 7% HP. That's 14% attack and 14% HP, just based over the random stats of the gear, plus obviously the basic stats. Whereas on a normal 6-star set, you're going to get 16 plus 8% HP, so 24% HP and 21% attack, not to mention attack and crit damage. So if you're not building a mage, it's not worth going to the mage 6-star armor from 6-star gear. Just a heads up. If you do have a mage you really want to focus on, like a Valentino, like a Skerei, a Jara, something like that, then absolutely. This is going to make a bigger difference on them because you're getting double the attack buff plus some crit, double the HP buff, some precision, which is pretty trash, double the attack buff and some skill damage, which is nice, and then double the attack buff with some speed. That 20 speed can be a big difference in PvP, especially high-end PvP. 20 extra speed can be the difference between winning and losing a battle. So for a high-end mage like Dark Arthidol or something, or even that new Dark Mage Mim, might not be a bad set to put on them, but there's something to keep in mind. If you're not going to be putting that on a mage unit, you don't need it. Just stick with the 6-star gear. It's definitely cheaper to make, 80 million and 3,000 gems compared to 120 million and 4,500 gems. Plus, like I said, the 6-star gear is going to give you a better buff on any unit that isn't a mage. So that's something to keep in mind. It is cool that it's there. I've never seen this before. This is the first time this event has ever popped up. And it's actually a pretty cool event. I hope they do more like it in the future for every kind of creature. You know, they've already got the assassin set, the mage set. It'd be cool to see a warrior set and a priest set and stuff like that come around in a similar style event. That would be awesome. I hope this kind of comes around a little bit more. That'd be kind of cool. Moving on past the Grey Dwarf's Blessing, we've got the Prophet Summon event. Woo! I'm actually pretty excited because I've got a lot of Prophet Orbs. So, yay! But the big thing to take away here is going to be Faithblade. Faithblade's an absolute freak beast in PvP with some PvE viability as well. He does decent damage there. Probably one of the most OP units in the game right now. On official, he's incredibly hard to build, of course, because he's a light unit and it's hard to get copies for him. But giving away one for free, well, I guess it's not for free per se, but you know, for an event reward is pretty cool. Definitely a solid unit on the private server. This is probably some people out there just probably crapping their panties right now. They've been waiting for that last Faithblade copy, and here she be. You're welcome. You're welcome from the devs, right? But you also get Margaret. Now, I'm kind of curious about Margaret. She did get a buff recently. People didn't talk a lot about it. I don't think it's even on there now, is it? No. It does. She actually gained a chance to stun, which she never had before. She never had any kind of crowd control, which makes her a little bit different. If someone's poisoned, she has a chance to stun them. So that's kind of a new thing. Before, she never had anything like that, and it makes her a little bit more viable, in my opinion. Might be worth a build in seasonal to check her out. I might do that next season. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like always in the Prophet Orb event, it's definitely worth going as far as you can as a new player. If you've already got a decent amount of stuff, maybe just save until you fully complete one. This is a nice one to fully complete, though, with that Faithblade in there. But, like always, you get some 4-star Light and Dark Shards, which is handy for the Heroic Miracles. Moving down, you get the Fortress and a Shadow 5-star hero for 40 points, which is nice. And then at 60 and 80 points, you get a Dark and Light 5-star in Shard form. Again, events do synergize pretty well with each other in this game. That's why I like them. Once you get on a roll of completing things, you can kind of keep completing them. The only things that really kind of slow down are heroic summons and prophet orbs. Eventually, you're not going to be able to complete those. You know, because you got to build more up, take a couple events off, and restock your stash. But getting these dark and light heroes in shard form, don't pull them out obviously right away. It's a waste. Wait till the event comes around for Heroic Miracle, and now you've got a free Dark Light 5-star done, out of the way. You only got to do one more. So really nice they put that in there. Then obviously you get Margaret and Faithblade. So if you complete the full Prophet Orb and leave these in the bag, you've got your light portion of the next Heroic Miracle already finished, and that's super handy. So there's your new events value package. Just while we're here, I guess. Obviously, Prophet Orbs are in it because it's a thing, and you can get some lucky commemorative coins. Ooh! But they are expensive, and, you know, whatevs. I won't be buying any of these. I never really do. I mainly focus on monthly cards and special cards like these. Generally the best bang for your buck. So, there's your new events. Probably most excited for, like, the Skerei skin, just because it looks so freaking baller. I like it. I definitely like it. But this Grey Dwarf's Blessing is really cool, too. I'm pretty excited to get into doing some of that. But there we go, guys. There's the new events kind of laid out for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure smash that thumbs up button to show your support. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. And tell your friends about it, because that definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one.